Furthermore, Absa Bank donates IT equipment to Cavalier Police Training College. Experts recommend quick response to mental health issues in schools. And on the international scene, explosions shooting rock Khartoum as Sudan unrest escalates. Thank you once again for joining us on this edition of the UBC News Tonight. The news in detail. West Nile leaders have considered President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's wealth creation tour in the sub-region as a move that can benefit people in eradicating poverty. This is if the president's advice is implemented through the parish development model. Now, this follows President Museveni's 3-day wealth creation tour of West Nile, as these details share with us.
In the Ankole area, there were no cash crops by the end of colonialism. So that's one problem. They had cows, goats, but they were not producing money monthly. Then you had other parts of Uganda like the West Nile area and some Western Tachori and Buganda. These ones had sort of got a bit involved with cotton, coffee, and in West Nile they introduced tobacco. So when we came on the scene, we said, okay, what is the otita here? What is the echivaro, the calculation? Now, if each home has got 2 acres, that means 1 acre is for food, the second acre is the one which can earn money for the family. And if you make a mistake, you will never get out of poverty. That's why, therefore, after some analysis, in 1995, we recommended that, please, let's have 2 types of agriculture. One type is what we call intensive agriculture, where you use a small area to produce a product which will give you more money. So if you have got families which don't have money, are you not their enemy? When you just keep quiet and you come and you, oh yeah, I don't want to be part of that politics. Because God will ask you, you are leading those people. You saw they didn't see where the future was. Why did you keep quiet? Me, I don't want to go to Gehenna. And when I go, I will tell God that I told them.
During his 3 days tour of West Nile, President Museveni emphasized the aspect of being players in achieving money economy, particularly through parish development model.
With the coming of the president, now there is hope. People believe that money can be realized at household levels, especially with the parish development model, which many people did not understand because so many people were lacking information. But he gave the basics, he gave the simple ways of people understanding.
According to West Nile Regional Government Whip Jackson Atima, the president's narration of football players and spectators explained a lot of things in understanding a participatory wealth creation initiative.
Especially these model farmers he visited in the neighborhood, you realize there's a poverty, yet your neighbor is playing, is doing something, is always waking up to go to the garden. So he was talking about those who are spectators and those who are actors, those who are playing in eradicating poverty. We do not want spectators. Everybody must be a player.
Arua City woman MP Moreno Soru on her part emphasizes the need for mindset change and training for PDM beneficiaries before investing their monies.
Let's first train our people thoroughly. Awareness, we should awaken our people about these projects. When these projects came in, indeed it's true, some areas till today, they don't know what PDM is. The other day I was in the field asking. That means there is a weakness there.
Currently, government has disbursed 20.5 billion shillings to West Nile sub-region in this financial year, as National Coordinator for PDM, Dennis Sozi Galabzi, explains.
The whole of West Nile is at the 4th stage. One of them that is doing so well is Zombo district. Then, of course, Arua district local government, which is about 1,600, and the rest follow suit. By the end of this financial year, we shall have another 60 billion on the accounts, putting it to about 80 billion in total for this particular financial year. Yeah, of course, some of the challenges are anxiety in the public. The anxiety is quite high. Everyone feels it is time now to get something from government. What we have been telling them is, please be patient. We need to prepare you. We need to sensitize you. We need to educate you on how you're going to use this money.
The Minister for ICT, Information and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomuzi, says PDM and other Northern Uganda development initiatives are all aimed at boosting regional development.
We know Northern Uganda had periods of disruption because of war and civil conflicts, but thankfully the NRM government has restored peace in the whole country. That is why there has been affirmative action for Northern Uganda by way of designing special programs like the NUSAF in order to catch up with the rest of the country. But the message of the President has been, you produce but with a calculation. Don't just produce anything for the sake. For instance, if you engage like in poultry, there is a big market for eggs in the DRC, in South Sudan.
In concluding his program in West Nile, President Museveni, however, cautioned the public servants against corruption and encouraged the citizens to join the fight against corruption in government offices. Joseph Odamam, UBC News, in Arua City.
The senior presidential advisor on special operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has said that ministers should help stop all illegal land evictions happening in the Greater Mubende. The General Kainerugaba has been officiating the pass-out ceremony for 2,500 patriots in West Buganda, an event held in Kasambia County, Mubende District. Let's have a look.
The senior presidential advisor on special operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has been in Kasambia County, Mubende District, where he ordered all concerned persons to stop land evictions.
They have been talking of illegal evictions of people. This is not acceptable. People should not be illegally evicted. We have the leaders, some members of cabinet here. We have generals. So I hope that this issue will be solved in Mubende. We will not have any more illegal evictions. Those involved should stop immediately.
En route to Kasambia Catholic Parish grounds, the Foresters General was cheered by the waiting communities. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba was received by a delegation led by the Minister for Presidency, Mire Babalanda.
Kiriza nkwebaze nganze yakuraba mu buto n'okula n'obeera n'ekirooto olwaleero ekirooto kyo kituukiridde. bamoyo gwa ggwanga mpaji ya maanyi mu nkulaakulana era kwe kuyimirira okuzimba amaka amanywevu n'ebitundu ebyesimisa nga kwogase ensi eteekebwamu ekitiibwa. Twetaaga eggwanga lyaffe okuba ery'ekitiibwa kubanga mmwe abaana abato, abavubuka, abazzukulu mwe bakulembeze ba leero. MKU yatudde awo ate nga general.
Brigadier General Patrick Mwesige briefed the chief guest about what has been the major focus of this 4 days retreat.
The objectives of this training, chief guest, included mindset change. You are aware, as you have been teaching us, that without transforming mindsets, it is difficult to realize socio-economic transformation, but also to realize the objectives of the patriotic services to our nation.
Present were members of parliament, the PJS office of the president and Hajjins Kakandi, among others.
Tukikubira mu ngalo ba patriots. Tukwaniriza ino era ne mubusoga tuli kulinda bulinde.
Ono aliwo RDC si mutuufu. Abantu baffe baba bagoba ku mataka ng'enkiiko eza district security committee yazituuza ne bagenda ne babevictinga. Tetugenda kukkiriza kugoba bantu baffe wano mu Kasambya nga tukyayimiridde wano. Mwenna mukube engalo General Kiwulire ne Minister.
Nina erinnya lyange lirina kutumye ne nga nti gwe Supreme Mobilizer mu organization yaffe. Wanga sofa otambudde ebitundu bingi, ennaku zino nakulaba oli Kitigumu, nakulaba oli Greater Sebeyi, olunaddako ate endowooza ojja kweyongerako ogende ne mu bitundu ebirala ebya Uganda. Naye nze nga nkulabanga gwe Lutindo, you a bridge.
And this was General Muhakanizi's pass-out message to the patriots.
Congratulations to the graduates of the patriotism course.
Mukulike mwe abatikiddwa obwa mwoyo gwa ggwanga.
Thank you for loving your country. What does it mean to be a patriot?
Kitegeeza ki okubeera mwoyo gwa ggwanga?
It means to love your country vigorously. It means to defend your country from its enemies. And I believe that today all of you are going to have been armed to defend your country better.
Muhoz also discouraged land fragmentation happening in this sub-region.
The practice of you're the father, you're the head of the family, you have 5 acres of land, you have 5 children, and you want to divide the 5 acres between 5 children. They will each get 1 acre, and they will not be able to do much with 1 acre. It is better that you form a company, a family company, and then you divide the shares amongst your children. So I hope the people of Mubende will take this message so that we stop this practice. It's going to destroy our land.
Muhoz ended his visit by commissioning the MK movement chapter for West Buganda. I'm Robert Nyango and Sharon Chomugisha for UBC News.
The government of Uganda has accorded an official burial to the fallen permanent secretary to the office of the Prime Minister, Keith Muhakanizi. Keith Muhakanizi passed away on the 13th of April in Milan, Italy, where he had gone to seek specialized treatment for cancer. According to the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, the head of state has directed that Muhakanizi be accorded an official burial.
President Yoweri Museveni has directed for a state burial for former Permanent Secretary, Office of the Prime Minister, Keith Muhakanizi. This was during a meeting between close relatives, friends, and government officials that took place at the Office of the Prime Minister.
His Excellency the President has directed that Mr. Keith Muhakanizi be accorded an official burial in honor of his great contribution to the country.
Nabanja describes Muhakanizi as a celebrated economist who made significant contributions to the development of the country by championing robust public sector reforms and offering sound advice.
Muhakanizi executed his duties with a high sense of professionalism, honesty, and dedication. He will be dearly remembered for his remarkable service to our country.
The Minister for Information and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Wariomonsi, says government is in touch with their counterparts in Italy to process the return of the body.
And once all the arrangements have been finalized, then the exact timing and the dates shall be officially communicated so that we all know when the body arrives. But definitely we shall have prayers in Kororo, and then the burial will be in Lyantonde, and the president of Uganda has accorded Keith Muhakanizi an official burial, meaning that the government will meet all the expenses for the funeral arrangements, and there will be a gun salute at the time of his burial, and we shall also be announcing the other events and ceremonies that surround an official burial. Once again, our condolences to the family, the friends, the government, the office of Prime Minister.
Meanwhile, Professor William Bazeyo, a Ugandan physician, public health specialist, and close friend to Keith Muhakanizi, says the cause of his death was organ failure as a result of cancer that he has been treating since 2018.
The reaction intensified, and he went back to loss of blood and complications for all organs of the body. And on Thursday afternoon, it was decided that they now actually stop treating him, but treat to destroy the cells that were destroying his blood, which they did. That was on Wednesday, and he responded well, but over the following 12 hours, he went down and now developed more complications with all the organs failing. And at 7 o'clock Uganda time on Thursday, he was pronounced dead. He died peacefully. He didn't die in pain, and he had a silent death.
A committee to manage burial arrangements has been put in place and is chaired by Haji Yunus Kakande, the secretary in the office of the president. The body of Keith Muhakanizi is expected in the country on Wednesday next week, and the burial arrangements will be communicated later.
Yes, as mentioned, the burial arrangements will be communicated later, and do trust your national broadcaster to relay that information. Otherwise, let's take a short commercial break and be back with more UBC News Tonight.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, under the auspices of the East African Community, will host the 10th East African Petroleum Conference and Exhibition 2023 from the 9th to the 11th of May 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel in Uganda. Take full advantage of the investment opportunities in the East African region's vibrant oil and gas sector. To find out more on how to sponsor, exhibit, or attend the 10th EAPCE 23, visit www.eapce23.eac.int.
Glow
as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256 GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha, Toakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3 GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100*5# to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
It's the encounters with our majestic gorillas. The thrill of taking on the falls of the Nile River. The joy of discovering new traditions and a lot more. Join us at the 2023 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo from the 26th to the 29th of April at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo. Rediscover our country's uniqueness and see what the tourism sector has in store for you. Visit www.poate.co.ug to secure your spot and get set to learn, network and explore. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board in partnership with Competitiveness and Enterprise Development Projects. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Buy Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava. Best movies I teach you. But never come up with the muscari. Because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? It's yes you. What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, where? Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako, n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga. Awamu teri kitulema.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We're now taking you to the world of business. Now, Tanzania's Central Corridor is expecting to attract more freight to and from Uganda upon the completion of the electricity-powered standard gauge railway. This was observed by key stakeholders at a transport and logistics meeting in Kampala, organized by the Central Corridor Transport Facilitation Agency. Dennis Sigwa with a report.
Uganda's stakeholders in the transport and logistics sector have lauded the Tanzanian government for upgrading its road, rail and marine transport infrastructure. This was at the Central Corridor Transit Transport Facilitation Agency Stakeholders Consultative Committee meeting in Kampala.
This corridor is very important to the business community. It's important to government because it gives us access to the high seas. I want to tell everybody who is listening to us that all vessels that call at Dar es Salaam call at Mwanza, call at Mombasa. Now we need to look at how we can leverage on this.
There are high hopes, the railway line between Dar es Salaam and Mwanza, and then Mwanza to waterways to Port Bell to Kampala. We are looking at maybe in the next 1 year or 2 years, the route to be fully serviced. With the coming on board of URC and TRC, then that Central Corridor will definitely boost our economies in Uganda.
Top on the agenda of STACON was to assess the Central Corridor's performance for the year 2022, discuss emerging corridor matters, create more visibility for Tanzania's export and import route, as well as engage key stakeholders in the public and private sector on issues pertaining to the usage of the multimodal Central Corridor transport network.
The Dar es Salaam port. Dar es Salaam port is your port. It's your port. Please come and use it. Not only Dar es Salaam port, Mwanza port, railway. That's why we are spending money to facilitate you to do business in a Central Corridor route.
The Central Corridor's mandate is to facilitate transit transport within the 5 member states. However, this cannot be achieved without advocacy, improvement of transport infrastructure, and consultation with the key players.
These are all efforts to support the trade between the two countries, to support the trade from the port of Dar es Salaam, from overseas, from the, passing through the port of Dar es Salaam to here. And we are also encouraging the exporters to use the same port. If there are any challenges which they are facing, these challenges can be addressed.
The request of the Central Corridor Secretariat. I know there are some challenges, but wherever you will go, you will find the same challenges also. Wherever you will go, you will find maybe some other challenges can be even bigger than for Central Corridor. So you can't refuse to use the Central Corridor because of some challenges. Those challenges, we are here for that. We have to sort out together.
In the current financial year, the CCTTFA Secretariat is implementing some major projects in the country. They are the URC wagons rehabilitation to a tune of $300,000, building capacity of maritime sector with the support of at least $70,000, and also sensitization of the private sector to use the Central Corridor route.
Although the Central Corridor is attracting significant cargo traffic from Uganda, there is optimism that the completion of the standard gauge railway in Tanzania will be a total game changer. Dennis Igoa for UBC News in Kampala.
This is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back and straight to the international news, or should I say regional news. Sudan's main paramilitary group said that it had seized the presidential palace, the army chief's residence, and Khartoum International Airport on Saturday in apparent coup attempt, but the military said that it was fighting back. The Rapid Support Forces, which accused the army of attacking them first, also said that they had taken over the airports in the northern city of Merowe and in El Obeid in the west. The situation on the ground was unclear. The army said that it was fighting the RSF at sites the paramilitary said that they had taken. The army also said that it had taken some RSF bases and denied that the RSF had taken Merowe Airport. A major confrontation between the RSF and the army could plunge Sudan into widespread conflict as it struggles with economic breakdown and tribal violence, and could also derail efforts to move towards elections. The clashes follow rising tensions between the army and the RSF over the RSF's integration into the military and who should oversee the process. The disagreement has delayed the signing of an internationally backed agreement with political parties on a transition to democracy. Yes, and that brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience with me, Wadulo, Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. Up next is the weekly business roundup with Dennis Sigor.